let's tell the story. Gloria and, what's her name?
Camila. That's a sad story.
Battle for the Falls. That's what we'll call it. Battle for the Falls. Alright. We're at Frankie's lovely, beautiful waterfall in this unbelievably gorgeous piece of earth in Puerto Rico. And Gloria, last week or so, has been living with me and my girl, and we've bonded, and she's gotten very loving and attentive with me, so she's getting a little protective of me. And Camila is Frankie's little puppy. Now the thing is, Gloria and Camila are alpha dogs. So we were sitting, and no problems all day. They were loving life, running around playing. And then when we all got together kind of close here, Gloria was here, and Camila was right here, and she starts picking a fight with Gloria. And we were like, stop it, moving around, and then bam, it lit. The shit lit. Lit off like a fucking Roman candle, like a million. And these two dogs were in it. And Gloria is a stronger dog, needless to say. She is, I've been feeding her, bathing her, taking care of her, getting her up. You know, she's strong now. We're walking. She's sleeping a lot more too, because she's my dog. They locked in. And Gloria got her, and they were both locked on each other's skin. So me and Frankie are trying to separate them, and it's a hard thing because they're so they fall into here, and Frankie grabs Gloria's collar while I'm kicking Gloria. Now I have to kick this dog. I love this dog. I have to kiss this dog. I love this dog. I'm kicking this dog in full tilt, kicking this dog, and to break this situation up. And Frankie's got the back of a collar, and we throw them right there in the water. Right here, turn the camera on. We tucked them in the water. And then I ran into the water with this foot. I got water up to my knee. I got water up to my knee on this foot because I went straight in. And then I had to proceed to punch Gloria in the face like the Nintendo Mike Tyson knockout. Like, it was one of those things where you got them and you just gotta keep punching them no matter what happens. And I'm hanging, I've got her, I'm in the water, and I got her, and there's a rise in my wrist, and I thought I might have dislocated something, but I'm landing like full punches. Now, I'm not the strongest kid in the world, so I don't think they're all that Ronda Ramsey, but I do think they might be enough to get the job done. And when she finally broke free, the little one dropped into the water. And I pulled Gloria off, and I nailed her across the face, made her look at me. And then Frankie, who's better equipped on the footwear, got Camila out of the water and brought her up the hill. And then I brought Gloria back in the water, and I had to wash blood off her face. And I got a paper towel in my back pocket, and I'm realizing it's about 10-15 seconds after this fight. I'm holding this paper towel in the dog's mouth, cleaning the blood off her tongue, because I just don't need that, you know. But they calm down immediately. But that's what happens, and dogs are dogs, and it's not something that you can judge, but witness. If a storm comes through, you have to sit it out and see what damage it does. And storms are in us, and the animal kingdom, in our souls. We are universes that have these fronts. And to watch that today, which is unsettling, was to realize also that my reaction to the situation was more direct, and Gloria never turned on me. And I was landing right by her face. I was pulling her face off the dog, and like where she was locked in. So I have my hands right here. And Gloria never turned on me, and not even a minute of that happening. And when I got her separated and I turned down, she did immediately calm down, and then she let me immediately wash her face by the water. So I took my hair and I just washed her face. You know, she got nicked in the leg, and she had a cut on her nose, or top of her snout. But washing the dog was a vulnerable moment for myself. And where other people might not interact in that situation, I'm glad that I don't think that I think if Frankie and I sat idly by, Camilo would have died.
I don't know if your computer plays them back better than the other one. And I will be able to handle the production better. You got that fog?
Good afternoon, Liberty. We'll do a little testimonial. I want to bring the morale up. The last clip was a little depressing about the puppy's little squibble. Sadistically bloody little squibble. But dogs be dogs. But I want to appreciate the beauty of my new habitat, where I currently lay my hat in Lares, Puerto Rico. And I have not had you out or filmed much of any clips whatsoever. Want to hold it? I can see. Just leave it like that. It's been a very tumultuous, interesting start. We got to the gate running. I didn't spend the night in San Juan. The plan was maybe to sing in Old San Juan, but I didn't have all the mics lined up at that point enough to, and I couldn't justify spending money on a pricey hotel when it would be better off to get to Frankie and see what we're looking at for tomorrow. And tomorrow is coming. So I befriended a couple people that were hanging out in the plaza, and we found the deception in these people because it's a predicament that sickens me as a person. I go out and I extend my heart to people, and I'm trusting to anybody that wants to even be remotely trusting back, you know? And I wanted to make good neighbors, make for good friends and good community. So, an idea after the first couple of days of hanging out with these guys, because we were charging at the same lamppost, I got some food at the store, I got some chicken and stuff, and we went and chilled with me and Frankie brought a couple in, Cello and Christine, and we broke bread, you know, we had a meal, and we chilled, it was nice, you know, but we hadn't had the bed set up yet, or the room was really set up, but we were chilling there. And in the mix of that, my wallet was stolen out of my bedroom, and in a moment where you have to think, okay, if I'm at a campground, if I'm in an amusement park and I drop my wallet and someone sees an opportunity and they take it, wrong, right, in the world we live in are both these things, well then that's a stupid play on me. But if I'm offering you food in my new home, in my new country, in my new endeavors, in my new moments, and you choose that to be a moment where you're going to seize me for my wallet. And the things in that wallet that pained me for the next 5 days to 7 days, almost a week, I guess, were the identification aspects, ATM cards, firewalls, banks, trapping. I had to deal with banks protecting their best interest, even so to the point of harassment on me, even though they claim it in the name of protecting me and my interests. I get it. I want protection. If something goes off and my card's halfway across the globe one day, at 3:30 in the afternoon, but I was buying donuts here in fucking San Sebastian. The truth is, I need to know that that's a call or a text that's going to come in that puts me at light. I get that. But when I claim a call my bank and I have to go through 3 or 4 days just to get them to the place where they would conceivably put a new card in the mail and get to me, I'm not a week without funds. It's not like I have a lot of money, but it's what you do with the money you have. and that money was in play and necessary. But I put a hold on my account. Because I put a hold on my account, I couldn't lift it, and it sucks. It's an asinine. It becomes counterproductive at the end. You know, if to the extreme case where you have to get on the phone with people at the bank and say, look, I'm here, I need access to my money. You know, they need to put that in a new category saying, okay, deal with front burner issues. Our clients that are in situations that need to get an express ship card, we need to work that out. FaceTime, computers, thumbprints on our phone, we can do this, okay? That's an idea on that. I found it sickening to be at the mercy of everything. But it was fine. I mean, it's like, I don't care. I'll go with anything, you know? But it's a long way to come to that story. But I wanted to get that story on Liberty, and that's why I'm doing this now. And is that when they left with the wallet, they could have just, I made a stink. I let everyone in this fucking town know, even though I don't speak Spanish, but I let everyone know. I went to the police, I got a report. I got a letter, official document by our next door neighbor lawyer. I'd pay $25 for this just to get to my bank to concede the fact that they could send me a card. I'm paying out the ass just to get a card for $25 new. I got issues. And I really discovered that it was in this moment I was my mother's only son. Because whatever siblings I had in my life at that moment, in their physical actions, in their unwillingness and pride, and standoffish, what worked for them yesterday that cannot serve them tomorrow way, they didn't understand that there was a little degree of urgency in, helping me or whatever, making sure, whatever, my money that was tied up and wrongfully taken from me in an unethical sense. Things you should never do to your family, but maybe you could do to your enemies, but even there it's not advisable. You did, it's just bad karma. So I'm down here and I'm really broke. I mean, I legitimately am under $14 and a $5 bill in my pocket. I'm not worried. Frankie's a farmer. We're growing food. We paid rent, and we will have rent when it's necessary. But we are, and I stocked up, knowing that I saw it coming. I really did prepare. Lamp oils, constant work on editing now can go on because we have no right to get in the car and justify gas not well spent. But I see the complete shut-off from my siblings. All of it. Right across the board. Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you. Because, as I understand it, our mother raised us to have a modicum of some family sensibilities and to back our brothers and sisters' place. And when Diane hatched a dream in 96, 95, I backed her dream with everything I had, and we moved to the Dominican Republic. I just finished working on the Aftershock tour. I was a Northeast regional manager doing 60 accounts a month for the 5-month tour that ended in upstate New York in the fall around college return. And in October, my mother and father's case in court was settled around the same time, and we flew with Chad Taylor and my sister and I flew to the Dominican Republic and opened up American Water Sports. American Water Sports was our jet ski company in the Dominican Republic. I don't do things because I need you to owe me something. I do things in the hopes that if you are ever in that situation, you would be wanting and willing to do it back. But in times of the Bush administration, it was the sickest administration by a president in my life, and I personally was sickened in my heart and soul during this administration. I felt their storm coming in the way he approached the White House in the Gore battle, and saying that he'd take it to the Supreme Court, which he had favorable in his odds because Reagan and his dad stacked the deck, and he threatened his way into our White House. And by doing that, I saw it for what it was from the get, and I just could not see the developments as they played through. And in 9/11, I heard a very different song than everyone else in this country. On 9/11, when everyone was on the radios talking like freaks, up and down, I drove that morning from San Souci condominiums on Biscayne Boulevard in North Miami. We had a wedding to attend in Long Island 3 days from then, but we had a flight to go the next morning. So me and Monique got in the car. Monique is my lovely girlfriend at the time. And we got in the car, and because of the change of plans with the drive, her mom freed up some cash and got us some money to go. But her mom was already in New York. She went up for the wedding. It was her brother's wedding. And we drove off the coast, and we had seen the buildings fall that morning. Bruce called me at an ungodly hour of like 9 o'clock, 9:20, 9:50 or something, saying, turn on your TV immediately. Something's going on. They're playing it. I ran out and I turned on the TV, and I saw coverage of, I saw the second plane hit. And I saw something my eyes had never seen. I saw a godly act take place. And people could say it was a cowardly act of 9/11. But the instruments in play in 9/11, the variables, the decisions, the choices, who we've made business with, who we've outed and scapegoated, who comes back to hurt us for karma purposes, bad business sense, not truth, conniving, manipulating, slavery-driven mentality. And I saw it. It sickened me. I saw these buildings. I had been to these buildings. I had been in them, but I had been there. But before he won his election, I knew going to bed this was a wartime administration, and I saw things in my mind telling me that we had to prepare for something like a war. And I felt sickened the more I saw what started playing out, the aggressiveness to wanting a job. As we see Bernie Sanders making this monumental, unbelievable social movement of awakening the integrity of the common American, to stop selling fucking 1 million pharmaceuticals every day through their TVs to them and telling them in the background on mute or low volume what fucking they could be suffering from, and letting them chase bunnies of stupidity thoughts, ultimately bringing those elements to fruition. It's insanity. This is music from a waterfall. I mean, this is natural soundscape. We're seeing Bernie do it. He's lighting us up. He's lighting everybody up. I see it. I feel good. I felt Barack Obama was a great president. I probably don't know everything he did that was great, or everything he did that I might not think isn't good. But from a Bush administration mentality, drained, hospitalized, repetitively. Waterboarding in Guantanamo to me was straps in these local mental facilities, where I couldn't even go to the bathroom because my hands were in 4-point restraints, where I was receiving needles after needles after needles of Zyprexa shot into my arm to bring my energy down, all in the name that it's craziness or mania, which is nonsense. It is not that at all. It is our spirit. If we have it, we have spirit. If we feed it, it's a bigger spirit. If we understand and take our hits, it grows wise as a spirit. My spirit amassed in these moments where society would have me believe that I was the odd man out. But I am a natural child of any God. I believe in one. And I feel for my people, and not my people, but people in general, I feel, and I know where I've gone and been, so I don't fucking size someone up for a despicable moment or a decrepit, downtrodden. It's an avalanche. It's an explosion. It's a volcanic moment where many things under the soil in your soul were brewing for a while, and they collided in these monumental moments. Suicide runs rampant in this moment. You know? It's a long rant, but I just witnessed a brutal fight. It's got me thinking. So, I really do appreciate my president, and I think he did a great job, and I love his wife, and I think his kids are awesome, and I love the fact that Ted Kennedy gave him the dog, and I think that in the 8 years why I could sing as he was a president made me happy to do it. I want to see America go Bernie Sanders 100%. I want to see a bigger win than Reagan ever got. A united country is what we aim to be. If we are united, we stand. I mean, that's just nonsense. To try to preserve or be pressured in your workplaces on what side you take in this political revolution, you're clearly in the wrong already. You need to know where you stand immediately. This is not a fucking light or dark issue. This is a unifying moment where people can build roads, bridges can go up, infrastructures, money to the fucking, get people off things, legalization of marijuana, which is a fucking pain pill that takes pharmaceuticals out of the aspect, the inhumanity, where farmers and scientists and botanists can meet and grow beautiful things and understand why, from multiple perspectives, God's given us this plant. In 4 legal states in D.C. We need to see this burn. You know, our George Washington said, "Let there be no law set against the seed of loin." That its fibrous and rich properties all around and its ability to grow everywhere makes it a vital fucking thing. It replenishes the soil. It reduces the necessity of cutting down mature trees. They can have long lives on this planet. It's disgustingly frightening where we stand on this day in fear, sold by lies that we continue to believe in for our own benefit, because the truth is what? Scary? That's impossible to say that. If you know yourself at all by now, you should know things don't have to be scary. It's only when we make that energy or put that energy in one place and direct it there, we then feed the idea, and the universe surrounds us with what we're beckoning it to do. So when we get in fights, we call in our fight. But if we don't have to call in our fight so quick, we will reduce the fights by much. By much. Our heart and our souls can solve in recognizing our differences, but our overwhelming, beautiful similarities, and not downplay the similarities because we all want to stand out. We're not ants. Ants look a whole lot more like ants than humans look like other humans. We have very many different things, such as fingerprints, eyes, perspectives, songs, music, talents, arts. The list goes on and on. Bring it back into perspective, is I found a serene place. My family has chosen to play obstinance or stand out, and in their head deluded themselves as it's tough love or bullshit. My sister burned me. I called my brothers to have them back me. I told them that the truth might hurt them. They saw it as a threat of publicity, but I'm not out to paint anything but a truthful story anyway. And truthful as truthful gets, they're fucking me in the ass right now. And that's what is going on. I mean, straight up. You know? I mean, they are not supporting me, and that's fine. I will build with what I got. And I got a lot of great things working for me. I believe in Frankie's dream to bring organic food and life back to the city that Puerto Rico called dead. I think it's gorgeous here. For anyone thinking outside the box, there's opportunity here. But I suggest if you think outside the box, you better bring your heart with it. I like not having the language set in stone. It gives me more of a chance to look into eyes and communicate with every skill I have outside spoken word. And then I do like other people coming out of the woodwork to translate in my behalf, because that stems growth in community too. And we're all here to help and assist, I guess. I think the people that serve food all their lives understand this a little more than anyone who hasn't. If you can take pleasure in bringing someone their meal or family their meal in a restaurant, in a chain mall, or a fucking burger joint on the side of a fucking highway, either way, if you can relish in the moment of the servitude of it, we feel the general water of what we are, which is more flowing, and it's the resistance. It's all these rocks we put in the stream. The rocks would be better as little pretty like borders for the stream. Growing moss like this, you know? This is where the rocks should be. We don't need to put rocks in front of ourselves. Unless we get off on moving rocks. But that's it. That's, I guess, a little rant. Testimony. I am saddened by my family. I love my new friends that I meet here. I love and cherish my friends on all social networks. Mostly Facebook. I have a good amount of friends on Facebook I'm blessed with, and I know most of them in my life in physical person. Ones that I met online are very beautiful. I get to know. I can do this anywhere now. Technology has it. We can do this anywhere. And I see a lot of things about the American currency here. The U.S. Postal Service, the Dick's, the Walgreens, the CVS's, every American chain of fast food. I find churches has strong hold on the island. But they got the corn on the cob with that synthetic butter shit, and I love it. I still put a package of salt on it, but it's fucking banging. I eat that all day. Jimmy cracked that corn, bitch. The women are beautiful here. And the men are beautiful too. They're mad, like they seem good. Except for possibly aforementioned people in this Stardate log, Operation Glory, 2016. I met scummy people and good people, and I see them, and I see scummy and good people everywhere I go anyway, so that is not foreign to me. I was offended by how many people tried to warn me about how scared I should be, because I don't like anybody telling me to be afraid. If God gave me a heartbeat, God will decide at that moment when, either by choice, happenstance, natural disaster, fucking uprisings, hate, whatever comes in, when the heart of this man stops beating, it was just as important as for it to start beating. Because I don't believe we die on a living planet. I believe we live on a living planet. I believe that our souls go into our hearts and minds, develop the trees of our children through skin and freeness and beauty to behold. I think we get to draw on the energy of the universe around us through all the knowledge we've procreated through our study and due diligence. I think we prepared for an apocalyptic future instead of a fucking Garden of Eden. And I can understand why, because you tacked Christ up. You went against your better judgment. You had mob mentality. You sold him out. He walked it, nailed it, delivered it, and never died from it. Everyone likes to think that Jesus died for our sins. Jesus did not die for our sins, even if the books write it that way. Jesus died because God made Jesus do what Jesus did. How you see God, how Jesus saw God is different than how I see God. I see God as a mother. My mother was my rock on this earth. She kept it real always, and she fought every battle. I honor her by living my life to the highest possibility and farthest extent Because it's all fucking gravy. I could be the poorest man on the planet today, and all I see is gravy. It's succulent, finger-licking, tasty, beautiful, great-grandma recipe, aged, coveted, homegrown spice, beautiful, eloquent gravy. It's not cheese anymore, it's gravy. The fruit's growing on the trees. It fell on me. I ate it. I find that through the use of marijuana, most people will be open to the enlightenment that less is a lot more. Which is probably the scariest aspect of why marijuana has been against the law for so long. Any stoner can tell you that when they get a fat sack, a half ounce or an ounce, and they burn through it, their boys watching every movie with bong hits, and they get down to their last eighth in that bag, and they gotta wait for a week and a half for their check to process from their Subway job, they need to know that they got enough to go. And then all of a sudden, that little eighth becomes a 2-week endeavor. You take hits every 4 hours instead of 10 minutes. And it can't kill you, see, it's not a smoking thing. For marijuana, for me, because I smoke, I inhalation, my smoke is my diet, really. I eat 1 meal a day. 2 if I'm lucky. I've been doing that for 5 years, probably. I gave up water for 11 years. I wouldn't drink water for 11 years. It's conditioning. It's like science says. If you add mass to your body, you're going to gain weight. It's a matter of adding and mass. If you make more with less, then you find there's plenty more to go around. Then we look at the greedy example of our elite prophet. We understand why they own all that money. We do not question the math. They have it covered. They have their lawyers to assure you, their lobbyists to pursue you into making good for you in some backwards way that's really smart on them. You can only eat so much food before you want to take a nap. If a little food makes you tired, then you can share a lot of food. If you make the penny a valuable thing again, you will see the billionaires and the 1% on how the scale really looks. Because if I was offered the quest, if serendipitously something spiritedly rose in me to claim the name of the 1 penny of America, we brought all of the old world here. We slaughtered this beautiful land. We killed mostly all the buffalo, although I hear there's hopes. We genocided native beautiful people that are currently living on reservations that I sang on. They can get crystal methamphetamine quicker than marijuana. Okay, that is a sickeningest thing in a man mind of this nature. The idea that there's a plant that can not kill you, can give you protein in its seeds, oils for your skin. If eaten raw, no medicinal high values, but your skin will naturally clear. You don't need Proactive if you eat raw bud in your salad with fucking any assorted dressing you find on our shelves. I mean, it's ridiculously here. It replenishes the soil. It produces mad amounts of oxygen. We can travel through and to Mars if we accept and embrace its growth. We could grow rooms, floating fucking spaceship grow rooms to Mars, sustaining dog life, fucking cat life. We could bring it there. We can go there. That's not against the rules. But what we can't do is drain every natural resource out of this planet in some fucked up way to make that trip possible. We need to use our fucking nature in a way that nature wants to use us and dance with us and love us back and forth. That's what we need to do. That musical, magical ride could take place. We could put plants growing in these environments inside these spaceships or these ships designed to make transport possible. Space stations that we've already built, satellites carrying seeds, so that we have them on hand if we need them in fucking a filing cabinet. We don't have to come back. It's there. It's all play. Use everything we got. I've never worked for a NASA. I understand the moon landing. But I understand plants make weed. This law against marijuana is a law against God. Anyone who tells you different is a fool. Everyone wants to sell you on what right is God. Who are they to sell you on exactly what is God? I believe I have a very beautiful relationship with what I believe is God. I believe in it as a more feminine part right now. It's more of a sexless thing, God. I don't think it's a gender. I think the energies go back and forth like north and south poles shift. I do think that that explains a little more of our sexuality and why people fall on bell curves. The one orientation or the other, and somewhere in between. This is seen through modern education, or my education growing up in schooling, to see bell curves and how schools and classes operate and what we teach to meet that middle. And hope the middle grasp with enough sense, everyone with common knowledge to apply it to their lives when they leave. But since 1972, we have seen the birth of the computer, the home PC. And we went from 13 channels on a knob to 27 on a digital cable push button box. And we saw internet explode, and it did. And now we see mass media and marketing and television and cable and satellite, and everywhere you want to turn to a device, you can find it. And we have it at our fingertips as a resource. So what we are also seeing is that what was once conceived as what I believe they called ADD, attention deficit disorder, never sat right with me the way they described it. I always considered ADD was more evolutionary. Like ADD is the ability to go through 10 channels on TV, get a sense of what's going on each channel, and remember how to flip back and forth. But you change directions with your thought because there's so much current stimulus to give you perspectives and add and incorporate in the now. And the now is all you live and all you ever get. Waterfalls, man. Someone says don't go chasing waterfalls. I disagree. I think sometimes one should go chasing waterfalls. I don't think they should burn their lovers' houses down or die because of stupidity. If everyone was honest with each other, we'd fucking heal each other in a week. I'm out.